to the Natural Health and Healing Show with one of New England's leading nutritionists, Mark Mincola. The show is brought to you by the Good Health Stores in Hanover and Quincy. Call Mark at 781-837-4900 with your health and nutrition questions. Now, here's Mark.
Good evening and welcome. I don't know if anybody listening in this evening had the opportunity to catch Larry King on October 19th. It was a Friday night, but fascinating program. I really rarely, if ever, take a peek at Larry King. I just not usually watching a lot of television, but on that particular Friday evening, on October 19th, I did take a peek at the program. And the interview that particular evening was with Suzanne Somers. And, of course, my instincts would be even less inclined to watch Larry King. However, as it were, it turned out to be a revelation that particular program did for me. She was actually pitching her new book entitled Knockout. And through the course of the broadcast and the interview, she revealed that in 2008, hospital tests showed multiple masses throughout her lungs and liver. And as it turns out, Suzanne Somers was misdiagnosed as having full body cancer. And from the way it was described, they gave her a very short window with which to make her peace, say goodbye to her family, take care of her affairs, because 6 different oncologists pretty much said that she was all done and that cancer was rampant throughout her body. And lo and behold, her husband encouraged her to get alternative opinions. So she saw Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski from Houston, Texas, who is widely known as having cured 8,000 cancer patients, treated successfully, I should say, 8,000 cancer patients with natural means, 60 different clinical trials of his work since 1998. So nonetheless, Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski disagreed with Suzanne Somers' diagnosis. He said, no, you do not have life-threatening cancer. Your body is not riddled with cancer. And what you do have is called coccidiomycosis. Coccidiomycosis was rampant through her body. That is a fungus. A fungus. Well, during the course of that broadcast, Dr. Otis Brawley came on, who is the CMO of the American Cancer Society, to represent the orthodox world of oncology and cancer. And Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski was actually on the program as well, representing the alternative approach. And very heated, very exciting conversation took place, a lot of powerful repartee. But the real key here is that after all is said and done, there is a very different perspective coming from a number of different alternative practitioners, researchers, doctors, etc., that cancer isn't just a neoplastic disease. You know, the concept that many of us are, I guess I'd say, programmed with are the words and what those words represent. The word cancer, the word tumor, are basically formal descriptions. They tell us absolutely nothing about what's inside the tumor. They tell us nothing about what causes the tumor. They are merely formal descriptions of the tumors themselves. But again, you know, Suzanne Somers is trying in her own way to awaken the world to the reality that there's something going on inside these tumors, inside these abnormal tissue masses that we identify, generally speaking, as cancer and as tumors. What's going on inside? Well, again, in her particular case, coccidiomycosis or fungus a fungus, like a candida-type bacteria. Okay? Now, this brings me to the real key point of tonight's broadcast. Dr. Tullio Simoncini, Dr. Tullio Simoncini, Simoncini, an Italian board-certified oncologist who's got a remarkable book entitled Cancer is a Fungus. Cancer is a Fungus. You can go on YouTube and you can actually watch a 10-minute interview with him, and it's a remarkable, remarkable interview. In that 10-minute interview, he actually shows slides, oncological research slides, the result of his research, analyzing tissue masses that are indeed white. And as he points out, all tumors are white. They're always white. The lumps are always white. The reason they're white is because they are fungi. He makes it very, very clear that Suzanne Somers isn't the only person in the world who is misrepresented, misdiagnosed, misunderstood as having a rampant fungus. Because cancer, as many folks understand it, is exactly what fungus is all about. In other words, in these various cases of lumps and tumors, etc., it's within the tumor, it's within these tissue masses that these fungal colonies are actually proliferating. So cancer is a fungus, says Dr. Tullio Simoncini, board-certified oncologist from Italy, with a remarkable book. Remarkable book. What he is doing in his treatments is he is actually hooking folks up. Cancer patients are getting hooked up to portacaths with 200 grams of a 5 to 8% bicarbonate of soda. Baking soda, folks. Baking soda. A portacath IVing baking soda. Within 4 days, the tumors vanish. Bicarbonate, as he describes, is the most powerful antifungal. The fungi cannot adapt to the bicarbonate salts, but as he clearly points out, fungi can indeed adapt within 3 to 4 days to chemotherapy drugs. Okay, the drugs that are being presently used to fight cancer can only kill the first layer of fungi. Fungi cells have cell walls and nucleus. Humans also have cell walls and a nucleus. When you kill a fungi cell with the cell wall and the nucleus, you are removing the source of what we call cancer, of what we call tumors. We generically use these formal descriptions, but they do not analyze exactly the biochemical activity that we know as cancer, that is indeed a proliferative fungus within the tumor site. Well, Dr. Tullio Simoncini certainly does know exactly what's going on, and his wonderful book, Cancer is a Fungus, is what we're going to talk about this evening, and we'll be right back after these words. Don't touch that dial.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health, proud sponsor of the Natural Health and Healing Show. Cold and flu season is upon us, and we have all the natural remedies you and your family need. Effective vitamins, herbs, homeopathics, and natural nasal sprays to protect you from germs and viruses. All our wholesome products are available at our everyday low prices. Come by and see us in Quincy Center or Route 53 in Hanover. Visit goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Good Health, the intelligent choice for everything healthful and economical.
Right in our area, we are fortunate to have one of the top martial arts schools in the country, Personal Best Karate. Personal Best has been recognized for their community involvement, professional staff development, character building programs, and exciting educational curriculum. Personal Best stands at the top of their industry. 5 locations offering personalized professional instruction, Not sure if karate is right for you? At no obligation, the staff at Personal Best will guide you in a private introductory program to see if karate is indeed the right fit to help you achieve your goals and meet your needs. What does karate at Personal Best teach you? Character building, success habits, helps you get in shape, relieve stress, self-control, setting goals, and of course, self-defense. Personal Best's goal is to create successful, contributing members of society through the practice of the martial arts at Personal Best. Mr. Chris Rappold is, of course, the founder of Personal Best Karate. He tells me his greatest joy of all is to see the personal transformation in each and every student. Bring out your best with Personal Best Karate. Telephone number 508-285-5425. That's 508-285-5425. Locations in Norton, Foxborough, Southeaston, Franklin, and Taunton. That's Personal Best Karate.
Alrighty, welcome back. I trust everyone is starting to adapt to some of this chilly weather that's happening out there, and we've got just the thing to warm you up, of course, here on the Natural Health and Healing Show. Good information regarding your health and healing, and tonight is, of course, no exception. We're talking about a remarkable discovery, which in theory really took place initially in 1903. As far back as 1903, Professor and researcher Dr. Gunther Enderlein, Enderlein, working with Dr. Schmidt, Schmitt. Enderlein and Schmidt in 1903 were the first world researchers to discover that cancer was indeed a fungus, and they developed an entire perspective on that regarding what is called pleomorphism, all the different forms and phases that the fungi go through in their proliferative response as they develop what you and I have come to know as the disease called cancer. And again, 1903, a long time ago, and their work ties directly in with the wonderful Nobel Prize research of Dr. Otto Warburg, because Dr. Otto Warburg won 2 Nobel Prizes throughout the 1930s and 40s, and his 2 Nobel Prizes in medicine were very clearly the result of his endless and tireless research in the area of studying lung tumors. And Warburg came out with the information that said the primary cause of all cancer is the replacement of the respiration of oxygen in normal healthy cells by a fermentation of sugar. A fermentation of sugar. Because the fermentation process, all of the sugar and all the fermentation, produce a very acidic chemistry. And that very acidic, low oxygen, high fermentation chemistry is precisely what allows the fungi to proliferate, to grow stronger, and to spread throughout the body. So again, this, I think, remarkable program that was on the Larry King Show on the 19th of October, which I think you can obtain the transcripts for. I'm not sure if it's up on YouTube or anything yet, but it surely will be soon, I'm sure. But October 19th, Friday night, I happened to tune in, as I said earlier, and very glad that I did, because a remarkable program took place. Again, Suzanne Summers, like it or not, is a key player in a lot of this information for the simple reason that she experienced it. She's high profile, and invariably whenever a high profile personality experiences something, they are given radio time, television time, obviously a lot of print time and a lot of attention. And clearly she went through this very same discovery that we're talking about this evening, that she was sent home to die, believing that she had a terminal cancer that had spread throughout her entire body. It was referred to as a full-body cancer, and they said, listen, you're all done, go home, make your peace. And, of course, you can imagine the emotions that she was experiencing at that time. So she was urged by her husband, say, let's get a second opinion, not just from this particular side of medicine, but let's get an alternative perspective on what's going on here. So certainly they did just that, and Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski, of course, who is gets 60 different clinical trials regarding the anti-neoplasia, and his trials have existed since 1998, and he has treated over 8,000 cancer patients successfully with alternative means. And he was on the program, again, opposed by Dr. Otis Brawley, who is the CMO of the American Cancer Society, and it was a very lively, very engaging, very fascinating debate about cancer. And essentially they arrived, I thought, at some really remarkable conclusions. And again, the key that I took away from this thing is that Suzanne Summers did not, as the 6 oncologists had told her, did not have a body riddled with cancer, but rather a body riddled with a fungus. And again, coccidiomycosis was the diagnosis that actually, in fact, was correct. But when you study the work of Dr. Simoncini, Dr. Tullio Simoncini, who once again is the board-certified oncologist, author of the book Cancer is a Fungus, he goes on to describe that throughout the universe, of course, there are, I should say throughout nature, the whole universe of fungi forms are very extensive. There are millions and millions of fungi forms. But Dr. Simoncini points out that there are only 10 pathogenic fungi, or mycetes, as he calls them, that are potentially dangerous to human beings, and that can indeed really cause cancer from within the context of their proliferation. So the one in particular that is most generally pointed out in a lot of his work and a lot of the other work that points to the fact that cancer is indeed a fungus is the Candida albicans. Candida albicans. Now, a lot of folks do know what Candida albicans is, of course, because since the mid-'80s, there have been a number of different books written, the Candida Connection, the Yeast Connection, Dr. Shirley Lorenzi's book, Dr. William Crook's book. So there have been a lot of folks that have tuned into the Candida albicans story and understand that not only does it cause an increased risk for bladder infections, kidney infections, thrush, especially children, a lot of babies who have the oral thrush condition, but it also now is being laid at the feet of those of us and many of the folks in science who are willing to pay attention to the prospect that cancer is definitely correlative here. And again, Dr. Simoncini has had great success treating what he refers to as the fungi or the fungus of cancer. And the way he does that is, again, 200 grams, a portacath of 200 grams of 5 to 8% bicarbonate of soda, baking soda, and he claims that within 4 days the tumors disappear, for the simple reason that within the tumors, the chemistry within the tumors is the focal point here. The chemistry within the tumors is fungi. It's proliferative fungus within the tumor that cannot adapt to the bicarbonate salts, because tumors that are loaded with this active fungi chemistry, this fungi chemistry cannot tolerate oxygen. It's kind of like the idea of mildew when you open up the windows in a bathroom or something like that come springtime. The mildew does not thrive. It doesn't prosper wherever there's a lot of oxygen. These single-cell bacteria, these fungi, similarly do not do well whenever there's a high presence of oxygen, which is exactly what Dr. Warburg told us back in the 40s. That cancer is the result of the fermentation of sugar. And this fermentation is what feeds and strengthens these fungi. Oxygen, of course, has the total opposite effect. Any alkalization, any oxygen, they cannot adapt. Pure and simple. So bicarbonate is the most powerful antifungal. They cannot adapt to the bicarbonate salts. And again, as Dr. Simoncini points out, Fungi can indeed adapt within 3 to 4 days to chemotherapy, no matter how powerful the killer drug is. Within 3 to 4 days, it can adapt. The fungi will find a way to adapt. The one thing it cannot adapt to is the high presence of oxygen, which of course is cultivated by alkalinity. Alkalinity, folks, is synonymous with a high concentration and a rapid speed of oxygen molecules. Once again, once the oxygen targets these tumor sites, the fungi colonies immediately start to break down. And again, according to Dr. Simoncini, who is touring the world right now, and he's on YouTube, and he's really trying to alert the world to this remarkable story. And again, his book, Cancer is a Fungus, points all this out. He's had remarkable success, and again, he has just a very simple and a very, I think, down-to-earth approach to communicating this really powerful message. So I encourage all of you to take a peek at him and try to see if you can't follow up on this story a little bit. It's a remarkable story. A few moments ago, I talked about Dr. Gunther Enderlein, Enderlein, who was theoretically the very first doctor and researcher, the very first scientist that ever found this correlation, this fungal parasite at the bottom of the cancer story. And, he did his work a number of years ago, like we said, around the turn of the previous century, around 1903 or so, and discussed this from the perspective of there being two parasites in the human body. One is called Mucor racemosus. The other one is Aspergillus niger. These are both natural fungal forms. Keep this in mind all throughout nature. Whether you take a walk in the woods, you look all around, you see mushrooms and fungi attached to trees and bushes, and everywhere in nature you're going to see fungi. Everywhere. As we said earlier, there are literally untold millions of types of fungi all over the world. And everywhere naturally occurring in nature, and even in the human body. That's something that I think we really owe a debt of gratitude to Enderlein and his great research back in 1903 for discovering that there are two natural parasites that are fungal parasites in the human body. And Enderlein was very quick to point out that these natural fungal parasites in our body, present in our tissues, really are not dangerous. They're not a threat to us unless and until our body becomes acidic. Now, when we're born, children are generally a little bit more on the alkaline side. But as we age, as we go through stress, as we take on certain dietary perspectives, etc., more typically, we become more acidic. So as our tissues and organs become more acidic, what ends up happening, according to Enderlein and Schmidt, is that these natural fungi in our body, the Mucor racemosus and the Aspergillus niger, these two natural fungi in our body, suddenly become enemy. They go from friend to enemy. The acidity is what literally drives them into a pleomorphic shift. Their form changes, their proliferative response changes, they multiply at a higher rate, they become considerably more colonized, and they become considerably more rebellious. They change from good guy to bad guy. From one thing, acidity. The acidosis that we build up in our body encourages them to betray us. So these natural essences within the life of our cell are literally friendly until we become acidic, and then things change pretty dramatically. So the key here is to really understand that we've got some revolutionary thinking to engage in here, and some remarkable discourse that is just beginning. And again, it is beginning because synonymous with, in parallel with this October 19th Larry King broadcast of Suzanne Summers and the remarkable book that is Dr. Tullio Simoncini's book, cancer is a fungus, and the remarkable YouTube interview that I'm encouraging everybody to take a peek at. You can literally just search "cancer is a fungus." It'll take you right to the YouTube interview. It's a 10-minute interview. It is absolutely astounding. Seeing is believing, and this fine, fine gentleman, this wonderful researcher, this board-certified oncologist from Italy, takes the time to very cautiously and in a very detailed, thorough manner, go over the slides that he exposes you to in this particular YouTube video, and he explains exactly what you're looking at. You can see it with your own two eyes. These very white fungal masses within tumors. Remarkable, remarkable video. And the book is remarkable as well, so I encourage everybody to take a peek at his book. Again, Dr. Tullio Simoncini, "Cancer is a Fungus." We'll be right back right after these brief messages. Stay tuned.
This is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We're happy to have continued our relationship with Mark Mincola in the Health and Healing Show, and we're happy to announce a new product from Jarrow Formulas called Jarrow Cell. We all know that as the body ages, it heals less rapidly and becomes frailer. Often the body is unable to process enough nutrients to repair weakening cartilage and protein fibers. A very important element in building and repairing your body is silicon. But unfortunately, as we grow, you may have difficulty absorbing adequate silicon from your diet. But now, thanks to a product called Jarrow Cell, you can be sure to get your share. Jarrow Cell can give you the silicon you need to support your bone health, bone mineral density, and in addition, Jarrow Cell strengthens and beautifies your hair, skin, and nails. Jarrow Cell is available now in a synergistic liquid formula that also includes boron and zinc. Ask for Jarrow Cell at your local health food stores. Or for more information, you can go to the Jarrow website, which is www.jarrow.com.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Do you find that the stresses in your life are skyrocketing out of control? Hello, this is Mark Mincola. Please join me on Thursday, December 10th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the Red Lion Inn in Cohasset as I present Maximize Your Stress Reduction and Relaxation. You will learn about what stress really is and exactly how you can have power over it. We will discuss the latest scientific strategies that help you recover from stress and to keep you well in the face of any and all future stresses. In addition, there will be vendors present with food and supplements for stress, along with recipes, raffles, and drawings. For information, call 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393. Remember, you are more powerful than stress. All right, we're, of course, fortunate to have one Candida in studio.
I'm the good Candida. I'm the good contagious
spelled
Candida.
Differently, and you are indeed that.
Oh.
We ought to mention, I think, that Good Health Natural Foods, of course, who is our sponsor, has they're of course equipped to take care of folks with regards to their alkalization.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the things we like to recommend for people to alkalize and to support their immune system and to oxygenate their system, as we're talking about this evening, and kill those fungi. Chlorophyll, we talk about World Organic Triple Strength Chlorophyll. Those are 100 milligram capsules. I always recommend those. I love the triple strength because it's as powerful as the liquid without the aggravation of having to drink that grassy old water. Mm-hmm. But the liquid is available as well. So you can get the liquid chlorophyll, which is strong stuff, great alkalizer, or the World Organics Triple Strength 100 milligram capsules. There's a number of different, wonderful different alkalizers that they have there as well. And there's a number of different antifungal agents like the pau de arco, the Brazilian rainforest herb pau de arco, which is also called Tahibo. Mm-hmm. They have it in the Tahibo tea form, which is actually very delicious tea. Or they have the capsules. They have caprylic acid, which is from coconut, and it's an antifungal again. So great ways to really build up your immune system and to really, I think, support those cells as they're trying to stabilize themselves in the face of these these fungi, really.
And you could also check your pH. It was a great tool they have.
Yes,
pH
that's a great point. That's a great point. We made sure that years ago that they brought in those pH strips, and as long as that urine is between 6.4 and 6.8, that's good news for your cells and real bad news for fungi.
That's good.
So Good Health is positioned and poised and ready to help you to fight the good fight.
That's right. And I'm actually going to read their mission statement tonight.
Oh, good.
Their mission is to bring their customers the best foods, vitamins, health, beauty items so that you can make informed buying decisions.
I like
that.
They
offer all of their products at a very everyday low price, and they search for new items always. And they always, whatever you recommend, they stock the shelves with that as well.
Great.
So we appreciate that. They
You're
have
supposed
products.
to say, no, we sure do appreciate that.
We sure do. Their products are vegetarian, kosher, organic, and minimally processed.
Mm-hmm.
Good Health supports local farmers and their families. New England produce is fresher and sustains our local economy. And they're committed to their customers, and they strive to give back to the neighborhoods. And they serve by promoting lasting good health, balance, and well-being.
Very nicely done. You might want to share with the listeners where they're located.
That's right. Good Health Quincy is at 1627 Hancock Street. Phone number is 617-773-4925. And Good Health Hanover is 219 Columbia Road on Route 53. The phone number there is 781-826-0808. And they also wanted me to mention they have available. You could order your turkeys for Thanksgiving. It's that time again, Mark.
Hard to believe. It is November, isn't it, huh?
It's
wow.
unbelievable.
Jeez.
No preservatives, no antibiotics, no added hormones. They're organic, free-range turkeys.
Beautiful. And for all things natural, it is
Good Health Natural Food.
Oh, beautifully done.
Yeah, Laura was in last time. She called me. She was like, I love how you and Mark do that. She was like, did you do that for me? We do that every week.
It was great to have her on.
Isn't it?
She's got the most wonderful voice, and she's got a great presence over the airwaves. She
great
did
show.
Great job. It was a terrific show. A lot of folks commented, and they really enjoyed that show last Sunday.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, did you happen to catch that October 19th Larry King program?
I didn't, but I'm going to now.
Oh, wow. It is truly amazing.
Gosh.
You know, and to hear these board-certified oncologists literally admit that chemotherapy was, for the most part, palliative. You know, which basically means it just makes people feel better knowing something's being done. But, you know, Dr. Rolf Moss, who was a former director of public affairs of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York, said in an interview recently that only 2 to 4% of cancers respond to chemotherapy. 2 to 4%. He pointed out that chemo is only a life extender for Hodgkin's disease, acute lymphocytic leukemia, testicular cancer, and choriocarcinomas. 4 cancers. That's it. For the remainder, he said it's basically palliative. So, you know, the idea that folks, you know, think that they really are fully educated about their choice as consumers when it comes to these issues, they're not getting the full information. And I think I do indeed salute Larry King that night for pressing these issues and for getting that information out there.
Yeah, good for him.
Because it's very rare that people get to hear this information.
It's infuriating. I have all the new shows on now, The Doctor and Dr. Oz. And I sit there and I'm like, oh, where's the other side? This is so unfair.
Well, I mean,
really unfair.
Yeah, again, folks need to really be more fully educated. I think we need more open forums. I think we need more, you know, America's all about open forums, and it's all about debate. You know, whatever happened to that? It's like we don't like competition anymore. We're getting paranoid and insecure, and that's not the way this country was really founded. When you think about bone marrow transplants, $150,000 per transplant, it kills 25% of the folks who actually undergo the treatment, and it almost never has any positive effect. It's pretty amazing. The AML leukemia treatment, they say, is so toxic that the treatment alone kills 40% with a cure rate of less than 10%. People don't get those figures. So another person that I'm going to refer everybody to is Ralph Moss, M-O-S-S. Ralph Moss has some remarkable information. He's written 21 books on the cancer industry. He was once central as a member of the industry itself. He jumped ship, and now he's educating people about the problems with the cancer industry. So Ralph Moss is somebody well worth listening to. And if you want to look at an interesting transcript, you want to go to, there's a, Los Angeles has a radio program, the Laura Lee Show, Lauralee, Laura Lee. And if you want to really locate a remarkable piece of transcript on the internet, you want to take a look at Ralph Moss's interview with Laura Lee. That is an absolute showstopper. So there's some great information that's
I'm going to check that out.
Starting to circulate out there, and we'll do our share to try to see if we can't get people a little bit more educated as to both sides of the story.
Yeah, I was talking with Bernie Siegel. He was on
He's wonderful,
with me. It was
of course.
just remarkable. He was saying he's kind of seeing a shift. People, the doctors are calling him in now and wanting to know about his philosophy.
I can tell you there's a shift. Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Yes,
good.
And you know what?
Thanks to you, too.
Well, I think everybody's doing their share. I think what matters most to me is that I care about people. And if, at the very least, look, I don't want to force any of my views. I would never in a million years ever do that. But I do want people to know that there's two sides to every story, and they need to be better educated. They deserve better information. They deserve a broader spectrum of information. And I think out of decency and respect for these people, they really deserve more information from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, with the H1N1 now, I mean, we're seeing it more than ever. People are taking a stand.
This is a different time. I think, the internet has changed the whole ballgame.
You're right.
I think people can essentially obtain information now at the click of a button like never before, and really make better, empowered decisions than they ever have before. And that's not suggesting that everything on the internet is good.
Right.
But obviously they have access to virtually everything good and not good on the internet. But that does include a lot of decent, good information. Dr. Simoncini, I mean, a remarkable man. He is absolutely astounding. And he's such a fine, fine gentleman with such care and concern. He is the classic, old-fashioned doctor who is really living up to his Hippocratic Oath. The idea that he doesn't want to do harm. He wants a broader discourse. He wants to educate people, and he really is dedicated to getting the information from his wonderful research out there.
That's great.
So we've got a muscle testing.
You're going to be teaching folks your very own muscle testing system.
Yes, indeed.
So excited.
November 7th, right?
November 7th, this Saturday.
Saturday, yes, indeed.
6 days away.
6 days away. And for folks that are interested, please don't sit on the fence about this. We want to get you in right away because time is wasting out here, running by awfully quickly. We only have 6 more days.
That's right. What will folks learn when they come to the program?
Well, here's the bottom line. It's like what you've just been saying. The mission is to really better educate people. I always tell people, look, don't call me the doctor. I'm the teacher. You're the doctor. We want to awaken the healer within you.
Right.
You have great instincts. You have great awarenesses. To me, muscle testing is tapping into your nervous system. It's respecting it. It's listening to it. It's learning how to listen to your nervous system through your muscles so that you can tap into your innate wisdom, your innate knowledge, your instincts, your opinions as a means of biofeedback.
Because your body could really give you the answers that you need if you're
your body,
to it.
Listen, your body and your mind are not separated.
Right.
They're joined by your nervous system. And your subconscious has to have a response to virtually everything. So what we're doing is we say, look, in the middle of the night when you have a dream about something, your heart rate goes up, even if it's a foolish thing. People have dreams that they're flying and they're afraid they're going to fall. People have dreams they're being chased by dinosaurs. None of these things are logical, yet your heart rate goes up and you perspire. So whenever your subconscious mulls over these concepts, these different images, whatever questions you ask yourself or whatever contemplations you have, your nervous system is engaged 24/7, even when you're sleeping. So I think it's a wonderful source of information. It's to be trusted. 27 years ago I decided to trust it, and there's no turning back. Excellent. So I'm sharing that information so that people can empower themselves to find out which vitamin to take, how many milligrams. You be the answer. Don't exclude yourself as having the ability to give yourself a viable, trustworthy answer. You just need a good system, and that's what we're going to provide them with.
Yeah, and anybody on any level could come. We had moms that came over the last couple of classes.
We had
professionals.
We had acupuncturists, chiropractors. We had moms and dads. We had the whole shooting match. It's great, and people. We still get letters and emails from people, and the thank yous and. Folks love the work that they learn. So, and that's what it's all about. It's all about you, and it's about getting you up to speed with a greater capability than you've ever known you've had.
And this is from 9 to 5. It's going to be at the Coastal Church in Hanover, right here on the South Shore. And we do a little potluck in between.
There you
People
go.
bring dishes. And
So we all get to spend a whole day together.
a whole day with Mark
Boy,
McCullough.
that sounds
I'm
like
so
fun.
excited.
All right, so if folks are interested, let them know the number.
Yep, 781-834-2728.
Wonderful.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Have a great Sunday evening.
Thank you. You too.
And we're going to take a very short little break and we'll be right on back. Stay tuned. Hi there, this is Mark Mincold, the Natural Health and Healing Show. I know that so many of you out there are passionate about the latest cutting-edge nutritional information, would like to go on to that next level. I'm proud to announce that our new natural health care offices in Cohasset are offering personalized nutritional consultations. At Santi Holistic Healing, you'll experience an informative, individualized nutritional consultation by one of my finest personally trained nutritional experts. Your consultant will test you for specific food allergies and supplements. Together, you will chart out a personalized, optimal nutritional roadmap that will detail your healthiest foods and nutritional supplements, even specific doses. If that's not enough, we also offer relaxing healing massage at Santi Holistic Healing. Whether it's nutritional consulting or healing massage that you're interested in, we at Santi Holistic Healing are prepared to give you the healing experience of a lifetime. Call us at 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393 for the healing experience of a lifetime.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. When it comes to lasting health and nutrition, the old adage, you are what you eat, really is true. Try to think about your lifestyle and what you put into your body this year. Read those labels on your foods and look for actual ingredients in all your purchases. Shop smart and save money. Visit Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
Alrighty, welcome back. And again, we've been talking this evening about the wonderful, wonderful book, the main topic of this evening's broadcast, Cancer is a Fungus. You're talking about 630,000 people a year that die of cancer in America. And it is the number 2 killer, and I would say that, any information that can help us to reconsider our strategies, any information that can help us to save lives and to really improve the quality of life throughout treatment is really what we should be paying very close attention to. And as we talked earlier too, you might want to check out Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski. It's Stanislaw Brzezinski, Burzinski. Stanislaw Brzezinski. Again, his clinics are in Houston, Texas, and over 60 different clinical trials on anti-neoplasia since 1998. So he's documenting his work. He's had a great success. And over the years, I've worked with a number of folks, of course, that have been suffering with cancer, and I can tell you that one of the very first things, in fact, not one of the single first thing that we do, and the one thing that I emphasize right off the bat with any cancer patient that I've worked with from the perspective of nutrition, is to simply make sure that they cut all of the fermented foods out of the diet, because fungi, of course, feed off of the vinegars, the champagne, the beer, the wine. And I say, look, if the average person out there wants to prevent cancer and wants to maintain a good health, they don't want to use a lot of those things throughout the course of the week. All right, you save them for weekends, save them for a Friday or a Saturday, but Monday through Friday, you want to remain fermentation-free. So the bread should be yeast-free. Again, Good Health Natural Foods has a number of yeast-free breads out there, thank God. And instead of vinegar with salads and whatnot, you want to use lemon and oil. But you really want to be careful about the fermentation. Again, I point out that peanuts are an aflatoxin mold food. So I usually steer people in the direction of things like the soy nut butter, the green label I Am Healthy soy nut butter, which is a great replacement. And again, it's anti-inflammatory. Cancer is inflammatory. And the reason it's inflammatory, folks, is because the proliferation of these fungi actually increase arachidonic acid in the body. So you want to make sure that you avoid a lot of the fermented foods, a lot of the aged blue cheeses, the mold foods, the fungi triggering foods. And it's not complicated. It's You basically take lean protein, chicken, turkey, fish, and beans. Those are your proteins. Then you take the vegetables, of course, and you can pretty much do anything you want with vegetables, with the exception, of course, of mushrooms. They're a fungi. And obviously fruits are wholesome food, and they're rife with antioxidants, which is so very important. But if someone's already been diagnosed with cancer, I say you got to be careful about the amount of fruit that you consume, because in theory, sugar is what strengthens these fungi and their proliferation response. And the fungi will adapt to sugars that are less processed. So initially, they'll feed off of the simple disaccharides, the highly processed sugars. And then as someone smartens up and they cut back on those highly processed sugars, and they just the only sugars they consume are fruits, they think they're doing something good, and indeed they are. But cancer says, look, the fungi that we know as cancer will say, look, I'll adapt, and I'll deal with whatever sugars. I'll take the advantage of whatever sugars you give me. If it's sugar